On the weekly chart, we're going to take a look at Palantir. You can see this past week, we had basically a $20 drawdown in here on the week. 10 of those dollars came on Friday. So we were trading as low as 166 on Friday at one point, and then we had a little bit of a pop, a little bit more of a run up again. Could not overtake those 170s and kind of fizzled back down to these 167, 168 areas that we're currently trading in right now. So overall, $20 drawdown on the week, basically $10 coming in on Friday for a drawdown for us. A little bit of a pop towards the end of the day because that's kind of what the overall market did as well. But we're going to see what happens when futures open on Sunday. We're going to see how the new full week of the new year is going to affect Palantir in here. And then also this RSI has basically came back down here to neutral. That's coming off of 2 red weeks in a row. So let's see if that's enough of a reset for us here on the weekly chart to kind of start going on this next leg higher. So you can see we're trading right below this 170 level right here. This is a key support for us / resistance. So that's going to be a big level for us to overcome. Anything below there, basically our support isn't going to be until right around this 165 area. So we did mention that we did get close to that. We were trading at 166 on Friday. So if we do end up gapping down a little bit more going into the new year, then look for that 165 to be a nice hold for us. If not, then we're watching 160. But if so, then we're going to keep our eye on that 170 level. We're going to see if we can get above that. If we do get above that, then we're looking at the 9-day EMA at 178. Anything above there, we're looking at 186 and then 192 in here. So all in all, nothing crazy on this chart. Basically respecting all these levels that we had mapped out previously in here. Nice overall structure in here. Not necessarily easy and predictable in here, but just it's always nice when a chart is respecting your supports and resistances. You don't have to do anything crazy in here. You kind of know a little bit what's coming. You just don't really know, I guess, when or how soon those moves are going to happen. And that's as shown right here in this past week, a shortened week, and you still got a $20 drawdown in here on a $160 stock. Now, as far as our overall net flow goes, it basically kicked in bearish on Friday, stayed bearish, didn't even come close to being bullish on Friday, and your volatility overall increased as well. So your IV ranking here is sitting at 17. You're pricing in right around a $8.24 expected move by this Friday. Next Friday, your monthlies right around a $12 expected move, and then you have earnings coming up February 2nd in here. So as we get closer towards the end of the month, look for volatility to expand and then start to contract. And then it's going to start doing a bunch of crazy things because everybody's going to start picking sides in here and everything's going to be news-based and going crazy in here as we get closer to that big earnings report in here on February 2nd. So just kind of keep that in mind as we're looking forward in here. But right now, you have basically a month or so in here to kind of play this thing. Let's respect some trend lines in here. And then as we get closer to that earnings date, we can worry about that volatility increase. But again, 170 is going to be the level that we're watching going into this coming week. And we're going to see if that's going to be a gap up or gap down going into Monday, gap up, and we're getting close to 170 or we're above 170. Great. That's awesome. Let's keep our eye on the 9-day EMA. If not, then look for the 165s and then the 160s to be a big support for us right around here. And that's also going to be a confirmation of this overall trend line here that you can see on our weekly chart. So a lot of key levels coming up for us this week. Couple that with some bearish net flow that we just had on Friday and a neutral RSI. Let's see how this thing responds and rebounds as we go into our first full week of the new year. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.